breaking news. There's a rumor going around the web that has fans intrigued. Could it be a good thing? Will it really make a big impact? We'll see. Before I give you all the details on what's going on behind the scenes, be sure to hit that like button to stay informed. Now, we have some exciting trade rumors popping up, and I know you're going to want to hear about this one. Za'Darius Smith, one of the game's top edge rushers, could be on the move, and guess what? He's not against the idea of playing here in Detroit. Let's break it down. So, here's the deal. The Cleveland Browns are 1-5, and let's be honest, things aren't looking good for them. With their season in freefall, they may be ready to start selling some talent, and that's where Za'Darius Smith comes in. You know our guy Aiden Hutchinson just suffered a season-ending injury, which means we're looking for a replacement, and Smith is definitely on our radar. There's been some buzz linking Smith to the Lions, with former NFL GM Michael Lombardi even mentioning it on the Pat McAfee show this week. And CBS Sports, they've also pointed out that Smith would be a great fit for our team. While nothing has been confirmed yet, there are reports that the Lions may have already checked in on him. Now, let's talk stats. Heading into Week 7, Smith ranks as the 41st best edge defender according to Pro Football Focus, with 3 sacks and 10 quarterback pressures. This guy knows how to get after the QB, and considering head coach Dan Campbell is looking for a supporting player to fill the void left by Hutch, Smith seems like he could be the perfect addition. But here's the interesting part. When asked about the trade rumors, Smith played it cool, saying he wasn't aware of the speculation and that it's ultimately up to the Browns. But here's the thing. When asked about the possibility of joining the Lions, Smith seemed interested. He knows the Lions are Super Bowl contenders, and he's not shy about liking the idea of playing for Detroit. Smith even said, "If I went to Detroit, I would like it because I get to play Green Bay twice a year and the Vikings twice a year." Yep. You heard me right. After playing for the Packers and Vikings, Smith seems pretty excited about the idea of facing his old teams twice a year. Talk about a revenge tour of the NFC North. So, Lions fans, what do you think? Would you like to see Za'Darius Smith in Honolulu Blue? Do you think he's the missing piece after Hutch's injury? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, another topic that's been gaining traction is former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who is getting a lot of attention for his comments about our head coach, Dan Campbell. You won't believe what he had to say after our blowout 47-9 win over the Cowboys last Sunday, Dallas' worst home loss since Jerry Jones took over. Let's break it down. So, Christie, who is a known Cowboys fan, went on the Mad Dog Unleashed podcast with Chris Russo and didn't hold back. He took big issue with Campbell running some trick plays in the second half, even though the Lions were already up by 20+ points. Now, we all remember last season's heartbreaking 20-19 loss to the Cowboys, when a potentially game-winning 2-point conversion by Taylor Decker was overturned by a poor call by the officials. Well, it seems like Campbell was sending a little message back to Dallas with those plays this year, but Christie wasn't having it. Christie called out Dan Campbell, saying, "That's Dan Campbell, he has no class, never has." Yes, he really said that. According to Christie, Campbell was still upset about last year's poor decision and decided to take it out on the Cowboys, adding that it's not what professionals do and that Campbell is building a reputation around the league for this type of behavior. He even suggested that Campbell should direct his anger at NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. Seriously? Of course, Lions fans and players didn't let this go. Social media lit up after Christie's comments. Our own linebacker Alex Anzalone had the perfect response, tweeting, "Dude, shut up. Never mind." Fans also came to Campbell's defense, with one saying, "This is the definition of why everyone hates Cowboys fans, lol, what a loser." Another fan taunted Christie by saying, "I don't care about 99% of politicians already, but at Chris Christie, you've been horrible. Don't let MCDC's name out of your mouth again." So disrespectful. One fan even pointed out the hypocrisy, reminding everyone, Jerry Jones is threatening to fire a radio host who asked him a question he didn't like. But of course, it's Dan Campbell who has no class. Honestly, Lions fans, we know who Dan Campbell is. He's passionate, he fights for his team, and let's be real, who wouldn't want to rub a little salt in the wound after what happened last season? Campbell isn't here to play fair, he's here to win, and if that means making some crazy plays to send a message, so be it. But I want to hear from you. Do you think Dan Campbell went too far with these plays, or was this just him showing the Cowboys who's boss? Switching gears, we have a big NFC North matchup against the undefeated Minnesota Vikings this Sunday, and a few key players are listed as questionable. You know what that means. This game could be a nail-biter from start to finish. First up, we have Kevin Zeitler, who was just added to the injury report late in the week. Zeitler was initially rested on Wednesday, but after returning to practice on Thursday, he reportedly suffered a hip injury, which has now been confirmed as a groin injury. This is a big concern because Zeitler is crucial to the offensive line, especially with a Vikings defense that is known for putting up a lot of pressure. Head coach Dan Campbell announced that Zeitler is officially questionable for Sunday's game, and if he's unable to play, the Lions will likely call up Kayode Awosika to start at right guard. Awosika already has some experience this season, stepping in at left guard when Frank Ragnow was out, so he's ready to step up again if needed. But let's be real, going into this game without Zeitler could create some real challenges against the tough Vikings defense. Another player we're keeping an eye on is cornerback Carlton Davis. He's been dealing with a quadriceps injury and missed the first 2 days of practice, but he's back on the field and says he's ready to go on Sunday. While Davis has officially been ruled questionable, he appears ready to suit up and compete in this crucial divisional matchup, and we're going to need all hands on deck to slow down Minnesota's offense. Now, let's talk about the stakes. This game has huge implications for the NFC North. The Vikings are currently 5-0, and if we can hand them their first loss, we'll be in a great position heading into the second half of the season. Coach Campbell knows how big this is, and he didn't sugarcoat it when speaking to the media. It's a division game, they're playing really well, and so are we. We're on the road. They already have a division win on the road in Green Bay, so this is big. This is a really big game. The Vikings have dominated in their 5 wins, holding big leads, but teams have been able to come back against them. The New York Jets came close last week, mounting a late-game comeback before throwing an interception on their final drive. So what's the strategy for the Lions? Campbell said it best: we need to keep our composure and take this game to the fourth quarter. The Vikings have shown that teams lose their composure late in the game, and that's when they capitalize. Coach Campbell made it clear, this team has caused problems for everyone they've faced, and the common denominator among all 5 teams is that they lose their composure. Communication breaks down and things start to snowball. We need to make sure we're keeping it together and fighting to the end. If we can carry this into the fourth quarter, we have a real chance. On the Vikings side, they're also dealing with a few injuries. Running back Aaron Jones is questionable, and linebacker Blake Cashman hasn't practiced all week and is not expected to play. So both teams are banged up a bit, which could make things even more interesting on Sunday. All right, Lions fans, it's your turn. How are you feeling about this weekend's game? Do you think Kevin Zeitler will play, or will we see Awosika take over that role? And what about Carlton Davis? Can he shut down Minnesota's offense if he's not 100%? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest Lions news. This is going to be a game you won't want to miss. Go Lions!